a dot cake, heart toast, and a Weenie Tini. It must be another batch of viral recipes to try out. Those are 3 of 5 we're going to do today. Let's jolly well get going. For your viewing pleasure and hopefully the enjoyment of my taste buds. Our first one today is the dot cake. This has gone exceptionally viral, and if you look at that, there's a spoon going into a ramekin that is like hundreds of thousands sprinkles or probably dots with cake underneath and possibly a little band of frosting. I won't show you the rest of the video, but this is someone making a homemade one, which we will absolutely follow. Now, this has gone viral because apparently in Roslyn, New York, there is a place indeed called the Dot Cakes, and they've been selling, well, like hotcakes at the market. Dot cakes are individually portioned cake cups with a thin layer of frosting and a topping of colourful circular sprinkles, aka dots. So the interesting thing about how viral this has gone, these sort of dots then, which I can normally get in my standard supermarket, other supermarkets such as Aldi that don't always sell them have hopped on the trend and started releasing them. Now, the other thing to say, one dot cake costs $11, which I think is roughly about £8 here in the UK, which is an awful lot for a little ramekin of cake.
I don't get the whole hype, it's just dots.
So it's fair to say there were some very angry comments on this video, which might be a theme today, just straight up stealing the simple idea of a cortadillo and making it viral. Now that is apparently a Mexican cake, and I've just looked at that. Cortadillo is known as a Mexican pink cake or pastel de nino. Moist yellow sponge topped with a sweet bright pink icing and then some sprinkles on top, but it does look a little different. It reminds me of the kind of cake my mum would make for my birthday all the way up till I was like, well, 32. But someone's replied, and I think this is where it's popular, is the concept is that you could break the surface like a creme brulee, and that's a satisfying, unique way to eat cake. So rather than it just being a sponge cake, by chilling the frosting and the dots, you kind of break through it, which we sort of saw on that video. There's another comment that I sort of disagree with, and it says, my favorite damn cake my entire life. Imagine barely learning how amazing this is in life, LMFAO. And I kind of disagree with that, because like for me, I've done videos in the past where I've shown like sort of traditional British things, and people have been like, wow, this is insane. Like pigs in blankets are different in different countries. So there is a little bit of education here. But is it going to be worth it? Let's go. Okay, so let's get going. We're going to use some cake mix, which was in that video. So we're not going to go to the town of like an $11 cake. $11 for a cake, that is unbelievable. And if you haven't seen before, we have realized with these cake mixes, if you want to just shove in like a can of Fanta instead of all of this stuff, well, you can use butter instead of oil. There's actually a thing where it's like you can make it much more glamorous. But then just like we're using milk here, you can use water as well to contra that. I mean, eggs are eggs, 3 eggs going in, but if you want, genuinely, I've done it before, it does make a very, very light foamy cake. Now, I don't know what it is about packaged cake mixes. Yeah, thank you, Head Whisk. I don't know what it is. This is like a weird scent. And then sometimes you can know when you've gone to someone's birthday party and like, oh, did you make that cake yourself? Like, yeah, and you can taste it. It's like, really? Yeah, it's like 10% more chemically. What do you think that smells like? You smell it?
Smells like a birthday party.
All right, so I've got some ramekins here that I'm filling up with the batter. Lovely stuff. Probably about, I don't know, 2/3 of the way up for, if it rises too much, I guess I can always scrape a little bit back. Beautiful. Maybe I could get one more, but I think I once used my other one randomly as a plant pot for a little project for Phoebe for school. Yeah, a little tap tap there in there, space for them to rise up. Let's get them baked. Yep, should be about 20 minutes in there. Hugo's having his lunch at the minute, but I've got some bad news. Look, check this out. Look, they have risen so high. I probably should have only half filled them. Lovely brown tops on them, but I know they're not going to be baked through just yet. All right, here we go. Yes, we do have a little bit of spillage. And the skewer, yes, it's come out clean. Let's let these cool down. Okay, so I've got a little bowl here for some scraps because we need to at least get this cap off here. And probably go a little lower. Because it seems like the frosting does play a bit of a role of like gripping it and holding it. So I'm gonna actually keep some of this cake and, well, I can make cake pops out of that. That was cake pops and not K-pop. I'm not gonna make some sort of Korean band out of it. But what I think I might do, just to give me a bit of slack, is, oh, that's nice and fluffy, isn't it? Nowhere near as fluffy if you use Sprite or Fanta or whatever. Generally, that does work. So yeah, I'll just keep doing that with the 3 that I've got. Cap off. Little scratch like that, not too much. In fact, maybe I might want to just press it down. Yeah, I'll just do that. I really wish I did that now, because all of that cake is still in there rather than the slow sort of removal of it from the previous ones. Right, let's let these cool fully. Yeah, I was going to make some cake pops, but I think Hugo and I might just peck on them. Tastes all right, doesn't it? You can really taste the chemicals. All right, so of course I had to pick the icing that my camera will completely hate, so I have tried to lower the contrast a little bit here. This is some of the Betty Crocker stuff, basically 400% sugar, but this is the stuff that I squished down, and that is actually a decent wedge of the frosting on there. Now this is sat at room temperature, but it has got a bit of movement in it, and I'm just gonna clean the edges quite carefully, otherwise the dots are basically gonna stick to them, and I do want it to look quite cool. It's such a simple thing. I don't know why I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. Why am I putting so much thought into it? But it is the frosting and chilling it that should make the difference. All right, so sprinkles, dots. Actually, in the UK, I forgot. Yeah, sometimes hundreds and thousands is the classic name. So, oh my gosh, in they go. Nice little area for us to sink those frosted cakes. And I guess this is it. We just stick that in like that, let it bite to it. Oh my gosh, look at that. That actually looks pretty decent now. I'll tell you what, I've got to give myself a little round of applause there because there's hardly any around the edges. Give that a nice clean. Good, good. I was a bit worried because the icing being room temperature, if it might sort of, I don't know, go a bit mushy or something, whether I should chill it, but no. Literally whatever it touches, it will stick to evidence here where there's a bit on the side. All right, am I seeing things or is there like a cat, a really angry, yawny cat on that ramekin? I can't unsee that now. This is actually really, really fun now. Have a look at these. I am really, really happy with that, but we are not done yet. If we try and put a spoon in that right now, like I say, it's room temperature, it'll be mushy. We have to chill it, and that's where we'll see these later on. Yep, in you go, my friends. And trust me, for a moment, I was like, that's a bit weird. Oh no, this second one is exceptionally bizarre. This next one sounds a little bit like a kid's TV show or possibly something far worse. This is the Weenie Tini. Hot dogs get poured with vodka in and left to, I guess, infuse, and then you are left with, yes, a Weenie Tini served with pickles. It looks like a tomato and maybe some more hot dog. Oh my gosh. It's fair to say the comments on that video are very critical in the nicest way of putting it. In fact, one of the nicer ones is I'm calling the police. You can have a little look at them if you wish. However, this is a jar of smoked hot dogs. In fact, earlier whilst those cakes were baking, I did scratch off so we can actually visually watch it all happen. Let's basically get this done. Hang on a sec, this is pretty cool. I've got a jar opener here now, I forgot about that. How cool is that? So yeah, let's drain off the brine. Do you know what, I will take some out because I want to give Boston some, and plus I might garnish it. Oh yeah, and we'll just take that one out, all right? You're lucky, mate. Now, I couldn't find any steps to this, so I assume it's just purely vodka, but I might just chuck a little bit of brine just at the top there. Why not? But of course, that flavour should already be in the dogs. On the reference of dogs, I think you've got to be barking mad to want to try this, although I do think, and this sounds completely absurd, I think some of you actually might like this. Right, Weenie Tini, you can go there next to the dot cake, so that's going to infuse in vodka, and this is firming up for hopefully a nice crunchy base. We'll see both of these at the end. Okay, so considering these are like gold dust now, I am going to, well, hey, get them back in there and hopefully dot cake for another day, because right now a dot cake sounds far more appealing. I think I just said dock. Great cake, Smarty! Than the Weenie Tini. Right, next one. All right, next one's nice and simple. This was actually tagged to me at Ramsastro. Cheers for that. Showing me this one, which is basically heart bread. You take some bread, you press it in with a spoon to get some real nice indents in there. Look at that, that's nice and smooth. It looks like it's toasted. I assume it's toasted. Put in the jam with the reverse of a spoon as well, and that is perfect. That looks like an incredible heart. Now, I'm not sure if you saw it there, but it does actually say translated from Turkish on the video. So most of the comments on this video are Turkish and have been translated. So this is just bread and jam. It's all about, can we make the heart look good? It's gonna be absolutely fine. But my favorite comment on this, a very good technique, and the reply, may you have plenty of Japan. Why do I feel like you can smell hot dogs, huh? Is that why you're licking your tongue, boy? Well, trust me, he is not having those hot dogs in the fridge, but hey, we need bread. I don't know if I'm overthinking this a little bit, but like, I'm worried that I might not do it perfectly, but there is the back here that forms the main sort of like kink in the heart. So this is the bottom bit. Really trying to press it whilst I've got it there. Okay, that's quite a good indentation, isn't it? So if I just try and do the same there. Oh, well, that's not too bad, actually. I feel like I could go back a bit more, but then maybe I can use this side to really sort of shape it. Okay. Oh, gosh. Theirs looks so perfect. Oh, there you go. You're really starting to see it now. I think the main thing is just getting that separation at the top, really. Oh, I'll tell you what, put some jam in that. That might look all right, you know. You know, we can actually start to really shape it. Okay. Yeah, I might just do this as a bit of an outline, just for peace of mind. See, a lot of these today are like more like building things. Okay. I feel like this one's got to go back a bit. Yeah, it's a little bit wonky that side. We need to come back here a bit more. Okay. Oh, that's better. All right, leave it with me. But if you want it to look good, you've got to just put that a little bit more into it. Do you know what? We can just about see it there. Does that look like a heart, Hugo?
Yeah?
Yeah, do you know what? I will actually take that. You've definitely got like the point there. I mean, it's not perfectly in line, but that indentation there, and I think it'll really pop once well, let's see if we can toast it first. Here we go. Oh, look at that. It has survived a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I've just done another one. Actually, one thing I didn't show you is this bread's quite big, so I had to trim off the little bottom of it there to make it fit. This other one, I pressed it down even more so, and I think that has just kept that shape a little better. Like, this one seems to have risen more, so really do. Of course you're going to try this. Really do push it down. But I have to be honest, compared to hot dogs in vodka, this is just a lovely thing to do, isn't it? The toast is slightly warm, so it's helping the jam break down a touch. Oh my gosh, that actually looks like, I'm quite proud of that. If only my GCSE art teacher could see me now. I was terrible at art at school, folks. I have no idea where Phoebe gets her artistic talent from. A little shout out to Cozy Crafts. Thank you to you guys that do any orders to her. So it's keeping her busy. Certainly not for me, and Mrs. B will not mind me saying, certainly not from her. Look at that. Oh, some very romantic toast. What do you think of this?
Aw, it's not Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh. It tastes of jam on toast. Next one. All right, so next up is the viral potato chips trend. You take a bag of potato chips or crisps in the UK across, and then, oh, that's quite nice. Tucking in the corners like that. Chicken, guacamole, sour cream, cheese, herbs. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is at all. And then you gobble it all up. So people are saying that it's basically a walking taco, or actually sometimes known as an army taco as well, where you open the bag of chips, crisps, the way you should do, shove it all in and shake it up. Really, really fun to do that. So this is a slightly more upgraded version of it. I think it's going to be great. Don't know if it's going to go great washed down with some hot dog vodka, but we'll find out. B.A. Chaplin says most people would use a bowl, you twit. I feel like I've not heard that phrase for so long.
Your mommy is a twit.
So I've got a pack of salted crisps. And I'm sorry, now that I've done this, I much prefer the idea of just opening it one end and shaking the heck out of it and really coating it and getting the flavors around there. But we must stay true. Fold it all in like this. So we've got our little pouch like that. I don't know if I've like got crisps or like a box of tissues. All right, let's get this done. This is some chicken, Cajun chicken actually that I bought from the supermarket and just warmed up in the microwave. Thank you, Mike. We do some guacamole blobs. Just drooping that on. I'm just gonna like bird poo on some bits of sour cream. There we go, that's a lovely phrase to say, isn't it? But I think I've used that a few times. It's very hard to make this look pretty, so I am just sort of dolloping it on. And if we're quick enough, if I get the cheese on, the heat from that chicken might actually melt it a little bit. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but just sprinkle it so we can see that nice mix of colors there. Now I think it'd be quite cool to bung it in the microwave, but that, I haven't got the herbs. That is pretty much it. Okay, the warm chicken is amazing on that. Wow, it's actually pretty fun. Do you wanna try some of that?
No, thank you. Oh, it didn't play. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, if you don't know, maybe by the time we've done this, we might have put out for the club members, we're doing like we've relaunched the Patreon, which is a mixture of YouTube memberships and Patreon now, but we are doing some trial episodes from time to time, and one of them will be a podcast, which Hugo's going to try and suss out there with Mrs. B and I, see what people think. All right, last one before we try the dot cake and, of course, the Weenie Tini. We have another drink. Now, this one, I think this girl might be from Bristol, where I was born, because based on how she pronounces this first bit...
Strawberry squash and milk makes strawberry Nesquik.
The strawberry squash and milk makes strawberry Nesquik. That's a very Bristolian accent. And if that is, she was born exactly where I was, and I don't think my accent is as strong as hers. Respect. Her name's Emily. Apparently combining, we'll carry on this video now, strawberry Ribena, which is not that easy to get. Thank you to Hugo, who has just literally burst out to get strawberry Ribena.
The odds of that, the last bottle.
Rather than blackcurrant Ribena, apparently mixing this with milk basically tastes the same as strawberry Nesquik. £4.45 for that tub. Yeah, so she pours it in there, stirring it in there, mentions about a little bit of curdling going on. Who doesn't want a little bit of curdling? And does say it is rather nice indeed. So we've got strawberry Nesquik as well. Let's try both and maybe get Hugo to do a taste test. Right, Hugo, she's saying something here. And I need you to like listen to it because I don't understand it.
I feel like the strawberry flavour here is very strong. Kind of slayed.
What does that mean? It kind of slayed. Is she like into like Christmas or something?
Yeah, no, slay, like slay queen.
Okay, I've heard of that. All right.
Like slay queen.
Slade.
Yeah, slay.
The actual top comment on this was it's rank. Now I remember people saying that when I was at school. So do you remember it's rank?
Yeah.
Okay, rank, we can agree. It could be rank. Oh my gosh. I always wanted Nesquik as a child and never really got to have it that much. And I think I've had more Nesquik in videos over the years than I ever have. Yeah, I used to get the breakfast cereal, but yeah, strawberry not so much. But it's telling me to do 200 milliliters. It says 200 milliliters with 2 teaspoons will form a paste, but that looks pretty thin, but I've got to say very similar color to the one in the video. But I do want to see if it tastes similar. So let's just top it up more. That's what it says to do, is to dilute this down now. Lovely jubbly. All right, so that's the strawberry Nesquik. Okay, and here is the strawberry Ribena. Oh my gosh, look at that color. I reckon it's about there. The same milk, semi-skimmed. Pour it in. Okay, that's a much more intense colour. Is it going to dilute down a little bit? It's getting milder and milder and milder. Come on, my friend. Okay, a little stronger in colour. That's okay. I can see, I mean, it's quite hard with our frog spawning glass. A little bit of a stain halfway down it trying to escape. It looks like it wants to curdle a little bit. So certainly a bit more intense and slightly thicker. All right, come on in, Hugo. I've got a straw for you and one for me. But if you, I'm being polite here. Like, you know, Joel, do you want some of the vodka in a minute?
Absolutely not. I've got to drive home.
Oh yeah. Do you want to try one?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a visual difference. Why is this nuclear pink? Oh, that tastes lovely.
Does it?
That tastes absolutely lovely. And I'm guessing that's the Nesquik because that's very pink. This looks absolutely awful. It just tastes like warm milk.
Does it? This one's, right, okay, so this one here, that's the Nesquik.
No, it's not.
That is a Nesquik.
No, it's not.
I promise you.
Well, that was better.
That is the... Oh, blimey. Cool. I mean, I think we've syruped that, haven't we? That is the Ribena.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste, that tastes way better than that.
It does if you like cake. It's like pretty strong, but I think I would need to put more powder in there to get to that. There's like that real sugar from the Ribena in there.
Mm-hmm. I genuinely thought that was an Nesquik.
I just had a moment there where I was thinking, oh gosh, here we go, from that strawberry milkshake to like the Weenie Tini, but no, I forgot. We'll do the dot cakes first. Do you want a dot cake, Hugo?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, nothing much more to report. It does look like it's slightly sunken a little bit, but it's pulled down the dots with it, and from there, it still looks good. So it should have that creme brulee topping. A good way to remember it is creme brulee, which I will say from time to time still. Just think of Bruce Lee eating a dessert, and you'd be like, that's wrong. He's totally a salad guy. Oh, a little bit. Breakthrough. Oh, it is firm. I was going to just get all ice in there. Ooh. I mean, it's just a cake, but I don't think I rarely eat a cake cold. I do like a gâteau, but a cupcake, certainly with this sort of icing like that, never. And there's something really nice about a cold cake. That's pretty good.
I'm eating that entire thing.
I've just looked around and I've got like a screen with like loads of my faces on. What's that for?
Secret, you have to wait.
Right. Weenie Tini. Now, I will say, as I get this out the fridge, I was a little bit worried earlier because I thought, hang on, if I poured it all with vodka, but I've just checked the video again. And yeah, I'm not going mad. Look, they put it into a fresh glass and that's vodka all the way to the top. And then when it's poured out, see, that's what's getting me. We'll let it cycle again. Look, that is clear. And then whilst it sits there, it does look more murky, a little bit like the brine, which of course I've kept. But to be fair to it, it does look a little bit murkier now. It's still like clear, but perhaps some of the brine in there, some of the flavoring from the hot dogs has perhaps dyed it. They also have some weird garnish thing of a pickle, some more hot dog and what looks like a tomato. So I've done that, of course. Oh gosh. Oh, that looks very, very clear. That looks very, very clear indeed. gosh. I feel like I've just eaten leftover coals from a barbecue. That is smoky and fiery and just strong. Oh, there's probably a reason why you shouldn't do this, and also you didn't see someone taste it in that video. Part of me feels like if you punctured a hole through the hot dog and drunk it through a straw. I saw a video of a woman doing that, I think. I think that was at a baseball game. Or if you added some more of this brine in to like push that balance out a bit more. Ugh. Ugh. That was the cheapest vodka I could get, and it even feels like a waste of that. Oh my gosh. It tastes like I've fallen into a super muddy field with my mouth open. That is horrendous. Don't want you to drink and drive, but do you want to have a smell of it?
Yeah, you're on your own with that.
I dislike it so much. You guys know how much I don't like raw tomatoes. That. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. 1 second. Anyhow, by far today, the worst one was the Weenie Tini, the hot dog martini. If you liked vodka that much, if you want to play around with the brine, by all means, experiment to your heart's content. I never want to do it again. Speaking of hearts, the toast was a nice fun one, but I think, ironically, the one we started on, my favourite one today, was the dot cake. Really, really fun. I get tagged in these viral recipes nearly every day now on a social media platform of choice, so if you do see anything, just send it on whatever platform you're on. I'm on most of them that you can find me. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. I've just realised I've got vodka-infused hot dogs here. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, no, it's not. Oh yeah, no. Massive thanks to the name on the screen right now that support the channel on Patreon or YouTube on my recently launched club. Check it out if you wish to help with the running costs so I can buy hot dogs and vodka. Nice one. Oh, gosh, that's horrible.